Mad March. What is it like? Or whatever. Like.
The city of Adelaide transforms from a sleepy conservative little town to a bustling metropolis, alive with the arts and street parties and alcohol. The phenomenon is known to many who live here as Mad March. So what does this all entail? Let's start with the Adelaide Festival of the Arts. Known as the Adelaide Festival, it runs from the 26th of February to the 14th of March and includes films, plays and Adelaide Writers' Week, as well as a myriad of other events. Perhaps the most prominent event this year is the Plastic Bag Store. Free to enter, found in Rundle Mall. It's an interactive exhibition designed to look like a supermarket. The catch? Everything inside has been made from trash, litter, plastic that has been found on the streets of New York City. WOMAD, or World Music Adelaide, is perhaps the shortest festival to hit Mad March, but it's the most packed. However, WOMAD 2021 looks a little bit different to what it has in previous years. Instead of having the festival set up multiple stages, you just wander around with multiple vendors of food, drinks. Over the course of one weekend, from the 5th to the 8th of March, they ran 4 concerts open air, more traditional than the usual festival setup, but still nonetheless good fun. At its core though, Mad March is all about the Adelaide Fringe Festival. It's the biggest arts festival in the Southern Hemisphere and runs for 31 nights from the 19th of February to the 21st of March. It practically transforms the city, turning the concrete jungle into a playground for all. Over these 31 nights, roughly 1,200 shows are collectively performed across over 300 venues. And these events include cabaret, theatre, comedy, circus, visual arts, music, workshops, and so much more. The beating heart of the Adelaide Fringe is the Garden of Unearthly Delights, and to a lesser extent, its sister, Gluttony. Both are huge open-air gardens, and they host a myriad of venues where you can find whatever weird and wacky show your heart desires, almost all of them being somewhat family-friendly in the garden. The Garden of Unearthly Delights is also home to many pop-up bars and food vendors, not least the Adelaide Pulpit stall, serving their specialty of little Dutch pancakes called poppetjes, dusted in icing sugar and topped with rum butter and lemon, anything else that you like. You can literally expect lines snaking around the garden with people waiting to get their hands on these delicious little treats. The garden also hosts many vintage and independent sellers, so if you're looking to pick up something funky, like this funky little Hawaiian shirt, the garden is a great place to look. I actually bought this shirt last year. It got a bit warm for me with the shirt that I was wearing when I went to go see a show with some friends, and so I popped into one of the sellers and found this wicked Hawaiian ScoMo shirt. Gluttony is kind of like the garden's older, naughtier sister, where you'll find some of the more risque shows, and along with more pop-up bars and food stands. The name Gluttony should give you an idea of what you can expect there. They want you to indulge as much as possible. Speaking of shows, let's talk about some recommendations and must-sees. Borealis is a light show that's supposed to emulate the Northern Lights. Entry is $10 and it's located inside of Gluttony next to the Rimmel Park Lake, and it runs all night. The best way to experience this show is taking a picnic blanket, lying down next to the lake and just watching the lights change. Church is a queer cabaret that will absolutely wow you. Starting at 11 p.m, it's a great late night option if, like me, you work in hospitality and you finish late. This show has everything that you're looking for: circus, burlesque, sideshow, cabaret, poetry, singing, dancing, all that fun stuff. Your jaw will drop and you'll laugh and you'll cry, and it's honestly one of the best shows that I've seen this Fringe season. Tickets were about $25 to $35 depending on whether you have a concession card or a Bank of Say card or not, and worth every penny. Something I try and see every year is whatever Headfirst Acrobats is putting on that year. These incredibly talented and not to mention very good looking acrobats have mastered the mixing of physical comedy with raw strength. These guys always leave me laughing. On the east end of Rundle Street, next to the Garden and Gluttony, don't be surprised if you find the very end of the street blocked off to cars for weekends during the fringe season. Restaurants will bring their dining areas into the street and buskers will vie for your attention as you sort of wander down towards the garden. And if you're looking for somewhere to eat, might I suggest Yas or George? Yes, I'm a little bit biased, I'm Greek on my dad's side, so what? But just because I love Greek food doesn't make this place any less spectacular. The food, the vibes, the service, everything was astounding. Just order off their a la carte menu if you want something simple, or you can just let George pick it off one of their boat party menus. And trust me, it's always better with a little bit of ouzo on the side. And the last thing on our Mad March Fringe sort of list is the Royal Croquet Club, also known as the RCC. Located in Victoria Square this year, the RCC has had many homes over the years, including the very controversial maths lawns on Adelaide Uni, but that's a completely other story. Boasting 2 stages and many food and drink vendors, the RCC brings the fringe together into the city. There are shows on regularly and DJs on the main stage every night, and it's open from Thursday to Sunday, which means it's a great place to start the night out if you're looking for a night out on the town. This by no means is a comprehensive list of everything that you can do in Adelaide during Mad March, but if you are looking to come to Adelaide, March is definitely the time to do it. For us who live here, it's definitely the most wonderful time of the year.